Welcome to BSC Designer. I'm Alexis, and in this video tutorial, I'll show you some advanced functionality for managing risk on our platform. Here I have an example scorecard with some goals, metrics, and initiatives. First of all, what does it mean to have risk in the scorecard? How does it affect the performance of the scorecard? You might have noticed that all risks in this scorecard have a small green rectangle next to their names. That's how the software informs me that the risks are configured as leading indicators. It means that, as configured now, the risk is not directly impacting the performance of the goal it is aligned with. In other words, understanding the risk is important for achieving the goal, but risk is not a measurement of the success of the execution of this goal. In some cases, risk reduction can be a validation of the achievement of the goal. If you want risk to contribute to the goal's performance, change the indicators type to login one. We have a video tutorial that explains the difference between these two types of indicators. In risk management, leading indicators are helpful for defining early sign indicators for risks. Such indicators can help detect risks at an early stage and understand them better. Take a look at the lack of employee engagement risk. There is an indicator called employee engagement according to a survey. On the context tab, I can see that this indicator is configured as leading indicator. It doesn't contribute to the performance of higher level goals, but it provides valuable insights into the state of employee morale. In this case, we use this indicator to track the results of regular surveys that could predict a possible lack of employee engagement. It's a good idea to have a risk mitigation or risk treatment plan for a risk. We are not limited to one risk mitigation plan per risk. For example, for risk of customer data privacy breaches, we have several risk treatment plans aligned with the risk. Should you need to align more risk mitigation plans with your risk, simply click on the initiative button at a new initiative and change it type to risk mitigation. We typically measure risk impact using a single impact indicator, but sometimes a more comprehensive measurement is required. Take a look at the implementation delays risk. Here we're dealing with a compound impact indicator built using the weighted average of two other indicators. In all previous cases, we measured impact in percentages on a scale from 0 to 100. But what if we need to estimate the direct financial impact of a risk? Let's look at the risk infrastructure damage. The impact of this risk is measured in dollars. Accordingly, we use a different scale to measure it. The risk indicators we reviewed used quantitative scale to measure likelihood and impact, but in some cases, a qualitative scale is more convenient. For example, the risk indicator supply chain disruptions uses such a scale. In this case, likelihood is measured on a scale from rare for less than 5% likelihood to certain for more than 80% likelihood. Impact is measured on a scale from insignificant to catastrophic. The platform allows creating such measurement units and using them for calculating risks. What I need to do is to edit measurement unit and specify its role in risk management. In the cases that we reviewed so far, the zones of the risk diagram are distributed in equal parts among the green, yellow, and red zones. In a real business environment, that's not always the case. For example, for work safety incident, the most significant part of the Risk diagram is occupied by the red zone. You could configure this via Tools, Stoplight Settings. The risk levels we see on the Data tab are calculated using likelihood and impact indicators. What formula does the software use? Have a look at this data privacy violation risk. I can click on the Data Source button to see and modify the formula. The default formula is the multiplication of the performance of likelihood and impact indicators. By using the performance of the indicators, not their absolute values, we made it possible to have risk indicators with various measurement scales on one scorecard. You can adjust the formulas to the risk model you use in your organization. All frameworks for risk management stress the idea that risk is contextual. This means that risk needs to be defined in the context of a goal, and one risk can be relevant for various goals. The risk we discussed contribute to their parent goals by design. But what if you need to align the risk with another goal or initiative? Let's select any risk and copy it to financial perspective. I need to select the link by context option. Once the two items are aligned, this risk will be visualized on the dashboard and in the reports. We have discussed some advanced cases of risk management in BSC Designer. If you need to automate more complex cases, feel free to contact our customer support team to discuss the best way to proceed.